Your lights.
Welcome to the Southwestern Village Council meeting. Today is Monday, January the 8th, 2024. Please put your hand over your hearts and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Fiscal officer will call the roll.
Bell.
Here.
Biggers absent. Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh. Here. Glucki.
Here.
Porter.
Here. We have minutes from the December 11th regular council meeting. Any changes or adjustments in the council meeting minutes? Move to approve. Move to approve by Porter, seconded by Canton. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Minutes have passed. We had a luncheon, Christmas luncheon, called a special council meeting on December the 15th. Any changes or adjustments in those minutes?
Yes, one. I'm noted as present, and I was not present at the meeting.
We had discussion.
All right. Any other changes or corrections? Have a motion to approve?
Move.
Moved by Kavanaugh, seconded by?
Second.
By Porter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
And we had 4 yes, 1 abstention, and 1 absence. All right, visitors, here we go. It is my pleasure to ask council to pass a motion to appoint Malik Mazzani. Close.
Messiaen. Say it, Malik.
That's a new Messiaen.
Messiaen.
That's what you told me. I still said it wrong. I apologize. I'll have the chief speak first, then we'll have the head of, still the head of safety. Yes. Chief?
Malik was hired in October of last year. He's been part-time with us, and he is going to be taking the open position that was created by the SSO with Officer Klein according to the school. So we'd like to swear in Malik as the next full-time officer.
Excellent. Do we have a motion for that?
At this time, I'd like to make a motion that council vote and approve the full-time status police officer, Malik Messiaen.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations. Just to let you know, these people in this room, the other police officers, and our citizens will really do everything we can to protect them. And have a good career here, to really watch out for him, let him grow, wherever he wants to go. Active, other sort of activities, we'll keep a good eye on it. Chief's going to keep a good eye on him, we'll help him, we will correct him when he makes mistakes, and the other officers also. But you've got a good situation here, so welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name,
Malik Messiaen,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully,
honestly,
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
the duties of the office
of
full-time patrolman
full-time patrolman
in the village of South Russell
in the village of South Russell
in Geauga County, Ohio.
in Geauga County, Ohio.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
All right. I'm sure there's other things that need to be done to celebrate this appointment. So have a good night. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you so much. Malik, thank you.
Welcome aboard again.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Malik, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Felt most way 25 times on that. Bye.
Okay, first thing on the mayor's report, we need a motion to acknowledge the receipt and review of council rules. It's basically chapter 220.
So moved.
Moved by Porter, seconded by
Second.
Zulicki. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. We need a motion to approve council committee appointments. They were,
Are you go,
Do you want to
You're gonna
leave it
list-
there, or how are you going to do that?
list them for the record?
okay. And I'm also going to say, I think there's a mistake. But I think what we should do tonight is pass them so we can get started to take a look. And I think the mistake was made by me. Somehow Bell and Berger got 3 assignments, all with each other. I just don't think that's comfortable. That's not a good situation. If Mr. Berger is out there, which I think he could be on camera, this is something we could talk about, and I think we should make some adjustments. But here's how the committees would be, and that's in the calendar. For the building would be Canton and Porter. For finance, Berger and Bell. HR is Kavanaugh and Galicki. Property would be Kavanaugh and Canton. Public utilities, Porter and Galicki. Safety would be Bell and Berger, and streets would be Bell and Berger. I guess I'd say let's have a motion tonight, and then if we have to adjust, we'll adjust. It gives you time to think about it, but if some committees want to get going, let's get going.
Before you go forward, can I just make a comment about HR? While and this is not about a personal thing or anything like that, but, Councilman Galicki is the only council member that does have a spouse or family member that is an employee.
Ooh.
And perhaps maybe we should reconsider, and since you probably shouldn't just appoint that one, and is there any way we can just kind of adjust the mistakes tonight?
Well, in point of clarification there, that's something that's been on my mind. And, for every vote that's come up in council that deals with employees, I've always sought your guidance on whether I should recuse myself. And, the standard answer appears to have been, if you're dealing with issues that affect all employees, by all means, you could vote. If you're dealing with something that just deals with your wife, you shouldn't. And I have always recused myself in that case.
Right.
Since, as a member of the committee, you're dealing with all employees, does the same.
Only because there still is that issue, and then if in fact you as a committee member had to recuse yourself from the meeting because it dealt with an issue with your wife who is an employee only, then you would not even have a committee meeting.
Okay.
That, I think, would be the issue.
Yeah, no problem.
And just to avoid any.
That's a very good point, and it's a good catch, thank you.
So,
Okay,
given all the mix there, Mayor, do you want to even proceed forward or just say everything remains in place until we adjust the,
Why don't you do everything
Assignments.
but that, because Chris Berger is the one that set the date for the first one,
first one what?
first meeting.
HR meeting.
Could we do it tomorrow, in a special meeting? Make some adjustments?
I don't think so, because we don't have the notice.
24 hours.
You're right.
Good point, thank you.
Yeah, it seems like now we've got 4 committees that we have to
I don't
adjust.
know if he knows about this.
Right. There's 4 committees that we would probably have to adjust, right?
Is it
Why don't we,
wrong to do 6 of the 7 committees and knowing we may make an adjustment? Berger and Bell may say they want all 3. I
Right, but
just
I would,
don't think it's good.
and we should probably just be careful on that too, not again, because it's the two of them on all 3. It's a question of, can they then talk about finance at a streets committee? Can they then talk about public utilities? And it's just an issue of the majority in the sunshine notice.
Those meetings would all have to be scheduled as all 3 committees, in case they crossed conversation.
why don't we just stay in abeyance until the next meeting when we can know what we're talking
Yeah.
about?
Well, we can continue the current assignments
Right.
until the next meeting. We can do that, Mayor.
Okay?
Current assignments, meaning the ones that were
The
placed in 2023?
2023.
Yeah. Sounds good.
That's good? Okay, so there'll be no motion there.
Okay, if I may make a comment, so after the meeting tonight, we'll talk, and we'll talk, and we'll talk, because we've already set the meetings up different time, different day of this week
For building and safety.
for building safety.
Nothing's been sunshined because they weren't approved yet, so we're gonna sunshine tomorrow morning, so we'll have 24 hours if you're meeting Wednesday.
Okay, so my question will be, I'm still on safety, you're still on
Yes,
safety?
yes.
Okay,
Well, you and.
For
Chris
2
are
weeks.
on
building, so,
Oh, we would still be on building, yes.
okay, so keep it on Thursday?
Well, you have it set for Wednesday.
I have it set for Wednesday.
8 AM.
At 8
I
AM.
don't know if you can.
Is that good for you?
It's not good for me.
Not good. How about Thursday?
Thursday.
Okay, let's make, if we can, let's make building this week, Thursday at 8 o'clock. That good? Okay, now, you and I are still on, okay, safety now, right? Okay, Thursday night? You can't. How about Wednesday?
Wednesday.
How about what Wednesday, guys?
9 o'clock?
At 9 o'clock?
That would.
Okay, you got that, okay.
And Danielle, for streets, we would, I suppose, continue to 7:30 AM Friday, the first Friday. Well, this would be the second Friday of the month, but.
This Friday?
coming Friday
At 7:30
at 7:30.
for streets.
Okay, so we're still Thursday,
And so,
and Dennis, we're still on Thursday, right?
Wednesday.
We're, okay.
I'll send them all out.
And
Thanks.
Danielle,
Okay, I'm writing it down now.
Danielle, Chris is out of the country or something. I don't know when he gets back. Typically, we would have met this coming Friday, but I'll let you know once I know.
Yeah, I can't remember when he's coming back.
He's back Saturday.
as long as
I think
we're
so.
doing this, do you want properties, Danielle?
Yep.
1 PM this Wednesday, January 10th, and that's with Jerry.
Okay.
That's the new one,
Jerry,
isn't it? Correct?
just take it.
Is that the new one?
Wednesday, January 10th at 1 PM. We're meeting this Wednesday.
Okay.
Don't be juggling things around.
So speaks the chairman.
So speaks the chairman, chair lady.
How about this, Danielle? Public utilities, a week from Friday, 9 AM. We may have no, I'll do that in the report.
Okay, and I know finance is meeting the 17th with the county. I'll just send that out to you.
If we can, it would certainly be nice after the first council meeting, that we had our committee meetings to meet after the first council meeting, so that the information could be given to the fiscal officer and we'd be prepared for that second council meeting. So just think about that, if that works out with everyone's schedule. Obviously, I thought about that, but I didn't dig enough. I felt like a kid playing with his soldiers, moving them all around and scratching, and should have left it alone.
Do you
Okay.
want to just leave human resources open, even though Chris Berger is the one that chose the date because he'll be here?
Yeah, I don't see an issue right now.
Leave it open?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our
Okay,
streets committee is this Friday,
7:30, is that convenient for you?
and that's fine. And utilities is the 19th, the following Friday.
Correct.
Thanks. All I need to know.
And if there's a change,
Oh, Dennis, you don't get to serve with me.
Thank you.
Not yet. Oh, maybe I'm not.
my apology. I did look at it for a long period of time, too long.
Somewhere we could-
All right, we need a motion to appoint pro tem.
Well, we need a motion first. We need a motion to keep 2023 committees the same for
Okay.
now.
I move that we keep the 2023 committees the same for the next 2 weeks until decisions are made, who we put where. So moved.
second.
Moved by Kavanaugh, seconded by Porter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Thank you, Dennis. Okay, we need a motion to appoint pro tem.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I would like to nominate Mark Porter, President of the Town Board Council.
And I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any other nominations? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you. I don't have to move my seat.
No. Okay, in your packet, we are now at the annual State of the Village report. In your packet was a directory of all the employees and volunteers and everything. Please note under my name that I did get reelected, so you can put 24-27 up there instead of 2023. Okay? All right, State of the Village report. I'm timing myself. You have a copy of the State of the Village report. As we begin the year 2024, it's a pleasure to report on the state of the village. 4 square miles, 1,400 residents, 1,400 homes. Building department went through 475 permits, sheds, high-scale bathrooms, high-scale kitchens. We've actually seen a couple tear downs over the past year. The position going from 25 to 40 hours a week has really allowed us to get some service contractors and residents, and we've been able to reduce that backlog that we picked up. We're fortunate to have not one, but 2 building inspectors on contract to handle inspections and provide advice. I need to do a thank you to Laura Heilman at this time. Laura gave us many years of service. She came here in the 1990s raw as an assistant, basically as a secretary back then when that was a term. She became a licensed building inspector with everything except electrical. She left the village for a better position, but she still served us as an advisor and our backup inspector. Laura's health has prevented her from continuing as that backup inspector. Pavilion rentals dropped from 84 to 74. The process has been streamlined, and I think it's going to be easier to use and easier for residents. The monthly report that you have in your packet has also been streamlined. New software has been implemented that went smoothly, although it's a little slow, but there's still a glitch occurring with the software because some of the changes in the building inspections, you see, like that person doesn't own that house anymore. And Ruth is still working with that. She did get a compliment from the software company because they hadn't picked that up yet, so they're working on it. We did go to the Geauga County Court 3 occasions to enforce our village codes, and we had limited compliance. This is still every now and then an issue. We've had a lot of village residents who have been eager to help serve on the ARB, BCA, and PC as members or alternates. Fire prevention officers has inspected every business every 6 months. He continues to monitor our restaurants. We had an issue with cleanliness. In fact, one night, on a Thursday at 10 o'clock at night, he required a hood inspection to be done because it was it's disappointing. Working with Chagrin Falls, we will soon require Knox boxes at building entrances. Finance has a very, I shouldn't say interesting, kind of demanding year with money moving all over. The changes with the taxes and the property taxes caused a quick corrective change in our tax levies. Major products, we completed about everything off the books and everything with the audit, and we had 2 little items mentioned. That was it. We've made improvements with our budgeting process, and we're getting that 5-year plan. It still needs some work, but it's trying to reduce the last-minute stresses in November and December. Reserve fund and the working with meter has helped. Technology improvements and possible changes are coming this year. Just to let you know, there's a cyber webinar this Thursday at 8 o'clock. It's sponsored by the Ohio Municipal League. There's a social meeting webinar on January 25th. If you get a chance, read the Chagrin Valley Times, their end of the year report by Anastasia. There should be an A after Anastasia. Anastasia Nichols. She was a reporter who used to be coming to some of our meetings. She went through the activities in the county concerning technology and ADP. They've had some real tough situations going on up there. We also were able to find a retired experienced worker who helped train in the building and finance departments and also help with the centennial celebration. HR, I'm surprised, Ruth, you didn't scream when I put you on HR again. That was one of the hardest.
I may have.
It was one of the hardest working committees with the handbook revisions. It was just wonderful to see how that worked out. There's many hours of diligent work. We've created a living document, so we can all proud of it. And again, we're fortunate to have a consultant who worked with us and just guided us along. And evaluation process, procedures and forms are going to be modified in 2024 to meet our special needs. And we're having a meeting Thursday morning with a grant writer who approached us being a grant writer for the village. It's something we've talked about, but I'll find out with the person, what they can and cannot do. All employees, 100%, have all done our incentive to have a yearly physical now, and that's great to see. Veterans Luncheon and Wreath Across America participation, each celebrated their 3rd year, and we need to consider our involvement with NOCA, that's North Ohio City Councils Association, getting involved with some of their events and see if it's a worthwhile group. Centennial celebration, the luncheon for the volunteers, community groups, the birthday party, jazz concert, Grand Marshal, the Blossom Parade, and additional newsletters to inform the community about the history of the village, and an 8-page pamphlet about the creation of South Wesel were wonderful. It was nice to see twice in the Chagrin Valley Times they mentioned that what went on over the past year for the centennial celebration. Nice job, Ruth.
Thank you.
Property Committee continues to provide improvements throughout the village. We added to the village campus by getting and acquiring and raising the corner properties. Everyone just is wonderful. It's amazing how some people, when did you do that? Oh, months ago, but it has really helped. Our cemeteries need some tender loving care, especially Warwick. I think it's something we'll have to spend some time and money on this year. Scouts and community groups continue to improve our properties with kiosks, flowers, Underground Railroad, and interurban displays. We'll be getting a Boy Scout project before long for an interurban display. And he's going to try to match what Charlie Simperman did for his Underground Railroad. So physically it looks the same.
Will you give me his name after the meeting, Bill? Because the library has something coming up that would help him.
Oh, good. Okay. Again, we got the park back in 2006. The annual fall festival just keeps rolling along. Implementation of the park master plan has begun. Eric, thank you again, and to Rich Washington for what they did. Drainage and a rain garden were installed to capture and control water flow into the park. An additional wetland will be created south of the playground as part of the agreement with Ohio EPA. Remember when we had to redo this area, we lost 1/4 of an acre. We decided that right behind the playground is basically 1/4 of an acre of a wet spot. So that's where they're going to put in a wetlands. The only issue would be the property committee, do we want or not want trees around it? So it's something to think about.
I like trees.
I like trees. Good, okay. Masonic Temple Finance, the new solar lighted flagpole bench and the brick walkway will be installed this spring. A new restroom should be installed during the upcoming year. And a controlled burn to reduce invasive species is planned, and hopefully we'll do that. There is actually a group that met in Ohio with 400 people, the Controlled Burn Association. Modifications are needed in some of the recent Eagle Scout trail markers. They're not right. Public utilities had a huge area of activity. The $300,000 retention basin south of Village Hall and the $300,000 Manabrook floodplain worked as designed during heavy rain. It wasn't the 100-year flood, but it was. We had a good rain. The area of the 319 grants that we lost to the retention basin, that's the 0.22 acres, it's going to be replaced, and I repeated myself there. The Manabrook floodplain received additional improvements requested by the Ohio EPA. Landscaping will be addressed in 2024 with additional trees installed over the newly enlarged culvert inside Chillicothe to the floodplain. Eric, a compliment to you there and CT for Kerry Riker getting out in December.
Yeah, it was kind of a scramble at the end, but we got it.
And they came through and got the job done. We're working on the water issues behind homes on the eastern side of Chillicothe, north of the Bell Meadow Ditch, and some water issues between Fairview and Maple Ridge. A lot of wet backyards. Solar panels will continue to be on the agenda. The location and cost is still hard to determine. Hi-Fi sensor continues to provide data on the stormwater levels. That's the one that's in Fox Run, right by Gurney. The first successful ESID project in Manabrook, it's they had hoped to be done 2023. The equipment's still there, there's piles of dirt. They've had some issues, but they went through with it. I think it cost each homeowner about $7,000 to do. The inflow and infiltration into our sewer system will be continued to be investigated by the Geauga County Department of Water Resources. That's where we figured out we're putting in about 60% of the water and only had about 14 to 18% of the users. Power a Clean Future Ohio might be joined to help our energy usage. This is what Moreland Hills and a couple other communities use to deal with some of their energy uses. Moreland Hills is going to join Chagrin Falls in having their own solar project. Remember, we still have $16,000 left from NOPEC to spend. Water quality and USGS on the agenda for this year. Everything seems to be fine with it. I think we should start, I don't know if it's going to be within our lifetime, but maybe look at water quantity if that's going to become an issue. A big issue is going to be how to work with privately owned lakes and ponds to control stormwater runoff and water quality will be on the agenda. Safety saw new employees, crosswalks, sidewalks, and paths taking up much of the year. Our relationship with Chagrin Schools is increased by the creation of that school safety officer chief. Good. It's a lot of work there. Chagrin Valley Dispatch is continuing to grow and expand throughout Northeast Ohio. That's one of the best examples you can see of regionalism. Flock hammers are going to be no longer needed after tonight. A new traffic signal and traffic pattern occurred, and it seems to be working just fine. Construction Chagrin Valley Fire Department building. Jerry, they're still hoping this year to get something going, I believe. But they can't seem to get that off the ground yet. Streets. There's another smooth year of paving. Big news came from NOACA, who awarded us $1.2 million to repave Bell and an additional $800,000 to provide pedestrian access. I did have a conversation with them, and that pedestrian access is unlimited. It doesn't have to be down Bell Road East.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I have his voicemail. I'll just bring it and play it.
Okay.
Okay. Good. 40 culverts, I think, Tim, you were up to. 40 culverts on Chillicothe, Daisy, and Woodside prepared for road paving. Shredding, trash day, and yard sales were successful. Services continued. Half of our guys have still been away and cannot work. The other guys have just been troopers. I know they spent one night in their chairs because it's like they were here so late and they knew they'd get called out. They just slept in the chairs. And we've got big decisions coming on the Salt Dome and I don't know if possible garages for additional vehicles. Okay, those are simply my opinion as to what things that I think we should do. Questions of the mayor?
Nice report.
Okay, next thing. Chris, I've lost my mind here. You're still on the property, right?
Building, yeah.
Okay, we need a motion to appoint Mike Malloy to a 4-year term to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Let's make a motion to appoint Mike Malloy to a 4-year term to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
We need a second. Moved in discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Motion passed. We need a motion to appoint Greg Broom to a 6-year term to the Planning Commission.
So moved.
Moved.
Second.
Second, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes, and I'm done. Fiscal officer, it's all yours.
I distributed my report to Mayor and Council. I don't know if there are any questions. We'll have the year-end financials, hopefully by the next meeting, and then hopefully we can, make the amendments to the budget that you wanted to do.
It looks like we're in better shape than we were last year, and way better shape than the year before.
For income taxes?
Yeah,
Yep. Mhm.
and as far as our balances are concerned, seems like they'd be up. I noticed that tax collections were noted in your report, and you'll have the other info at our next council meeting,
Hopefully, yep.
presumably.
That's the plan.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh. I also wanted to point out that May 27th, we have a council meeting scheduled, but that's Memorial Day. So you may want to, in the years past, we've changed that till Tuesday. So that's something you want to consider. Also want to let you know that for the park, we've ordered a bunch of plaques for the benches and trees going back to May, and we haven't gotten them. So we've had a real hard time getting in contact with our current vendor. And when we were able to get in contact with them, both the police department and us, the person they had doing the engraving has ghosted them. So they understand that we will need to cancel our order, and we have found another vendor, so we're gonna get those ordered. We have had a couple calls from people who had bought trees and benches wanting their plaques, so we explained the situation, so we're gonna be ordering those this week and hopefully get them soon,
So Gino's is not coming through?
Really?
since May.
It's the person that they use for that.
They send it out to
service.
somebody.
It's not Gino.
Oh, because this, they've been okay.
It used to be a 2-week turnaround, and we have stuff ordered back in May, and we've been continuously on them and just. And then the last thing something I thought about over the weekend, because I read about it in the newspaper. If you're considering doing something for the solar eclipse, I think, so we're gonna start looking, and I would bring it to council though, like those solar eclipse glasses, because I've heard they're very hard to get. So we're just gonna start looking into things like that if the village decides to do something, because I heard they're hard to get, so.
We could, Mayor, I'm gonna encourage you to look in that little sheet that the library sends out quarterly, because they have a bunch of stuff going on in the eclipse, and I don't want you to double. If we're gonna do something, it needs to be unique.
We'll do this, might as well do this now. Frankly, I thought it'd be great if we did something. We put it in the newsletter. If you have any comments about solar eclipse? No one, not a word. I'm gonna go out to the county. They're doing a nice activity at
The
the
park
county.
is doing, I saw that, a huge
Yeah.
thing. That's what made me think of the glasses.
Did I say library? I think I meant park.
Yeah, it's at Jogga Parks. They're doing a couple of things. I think, but the big one, I think, is gonna be at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, that's what I read.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
So,
Then I won't worry about that. That's all I have.
okay. Danielle, we're up 114,000 over last year. It's interesting, we set 5 records. Do you expect us to be up more in the,
It's hard to tell, but I'm also, as I always keep warning, is be conservative, because people are starting to have to go back to work. I know people personally who now they have to be, they were home all this time, now they have to be back in the office 3 days a week. And so as those people continue to return to the office, we can be impacted. Plus some of those laws that were passed last year regarding income tax, that's gonna affect us.
my, my neighbor, for the first time, she's a newlywed, had to go into the office. She said from college, she's never worked in the office.
Oh, my gosh.
I thought, it's a whole different world.
And the state made those changes where, now they limit it, how much we can charge in penalties and interest, like all that. So that's going to have some effect as well.
Okay, questions of the fiscal officer? Finance committee,
Nothing to report.
okay. All right, questions of the finance committee? All right, I just glanced, with the finance, we got a letter from the budget. Did anybody read it yet?
We just got that today.
He's on his desk.
Okay, anyhow, we'll talk about it later if we have to. Okay, solicitor, you're up.
Thank you. So if you recall, the legislature failed to include villages for the competitive bidding threshold of $75,000. So the House and Senate both passed the new competitive bidding threshold up to $75,000 for this year. But it hasn't been signed yet by the governor. So just so
So we're
you
still
know,
waiting.
I'm tracking the legislation. I would assume it'd be any day now. I'm actually very surprised it hasn't happened yet. So technically it's not in effect yet, but it is coming. And just so you know, that will increase by 3% each year thereafter. Knox boxes, I don't know if building committee, okay. And then with respect to the recreational marijuana moratorium, if in fact you're at all interested, just so you know, I'm seeing so many villages, so many townships, so many cities adopting them. And I've seen them from all sorts of 6 months, 12 months, 360 days, which is a strange one, to prohibit any kind of, any applications for review and consideration and that sort of thing. Not necessarily completely prohibiting, the actual license, allowing them here at some time or limiting them, but literally just prohibiting the application process at this point so that it can give the village or township or city time to kind of think of regulations if there are any. My other question, I passed out a proposed ordinance for authorizing the agreement with CT. I received that late in the day.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm surprised. I thought we'd be talking about this at the next meeting.
Well, it is here. If you, there's just a couple of changes. One has to do with the term. We just have to update it. It's still for 2020 and 2021.
Okay.
And then the other is you got rid of that one section with respect to, I think, MS4 reporting.
Correct.
And then I think just the numbers to
The numbers
section. Yep,
changed,
and that's
yeah.
it. But other than that, that would be something for your consideration tonight.
Okay.
And then the last thing is, in your report, you mentioned that the process for the pavilions have been streamlined. Is that the one that's going to building committee to discuss?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think we have one sentence change yet. Ruth wanted to put in another sentence on the forms. I think that was it.
and is that gonna be then recommended to council? Because again, that has to be done by ordinance since we're changing,
Okay.
right, the whole process.
Friday,
Yes.
would you go back to the prohibiting licensing, et cetera, for up?
Yes.
Can you do that up to a year? Why in my mind do I have this 9 months time frame?
Because December, so the vote was taken November 7th and it passed, it went into effect 30 days after. But the actual regulatory and bureaucracy, like doing these licenses is not even gonna be created until August. I think maybe that might be the 9-month,
Okay,
but you can have a moratorium for it, frankly, as long as you like. You can
okay,
always lift it as well. And then there's outright prohibition you can do. The moratorium was more along the lines of, listen, if anyone were to submit an application right now, we'd have to consider it. And so it'd be more of a, okay, we're just gonna kind of put it like a stay on everything. No one can submit anything, or if they do submit it, we're not gonna consider it until we figure out what the village wants to do.
okay.
And there's all kinds of, examples out there. I just didn't know. I think we talked about because the state legislature is still going through a bunch of, changes with respect to this, but didn't know if you wanted to get that into effect. Possibly at the next council meeting, or have it proposed, introduced.
So we have an ordinance drafted for this purpose,
Correct.
for a 1-year moratorium.
You could do that?
I'd be all for that.
And
Jerry?
we don't want to get into this until the state has the bureaucracy set up, no matter what we're going to do. But if there's no machinery to make it happen on the state level, the village is kind of in a hard place if somebody actually applies during the startup process by the state.
Correct,
Does that make sense?
correct.
Is that your thinking, Mayor?
Yes, so safety, put that on the agenda. And move it to solicitor for a moratorium. But basically, we're looking at a 1 year.
Yeah.
And
So-
the safety committee can bring that at the next council meeting.
Okay. Do you want the proposed ordinance for the next council meeting or the first council meeting in February? Because there's
Next one would be.
the next
So
one.
that would
Probably
be-
best.
Yep.
I mean, we haven't gotten anything from anybody asking for,
Just an inquiry as to a possible purchase of a property for a dispensary.
okay.
Wow, that's fast.
Yes,
Wow, anything else?
that is it.
You've been busy. You got that CT done this afternoon?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah,
Eric made it easy.
amazing.
All right, questions of our solicitor?
Thank you,
Okay.
Barry.
Yes, thank you very much. Engineer, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no official report for tonight, but I do want to just bring it to council's attention that the Streets Commissioner passed along for review. There's a grant application out there that's coming due soon for it's the H2 Ohio grant. And the purpose of the grant is to really distribute salt, road salt, more efficiently on road surfaces so that we're not over salting and, polluting the environment with salt. That's kind of the premise of the grant. And they offer each applicant a maximum of $75,000 for the purposes of more efficiently using road salt distribution. There was some language in there, if you read carefully, about salt storage buildings or salt storage facilities. So we thought maybe we could leverage some money for whatever we decide to do with our salt storage building, whether it's replacing it or repairing it or picking a different site for it or building right over the top of where we are. However, I gave the EPA, well, I called the EPA several times and kind of worked through their menu system. There's not a whole lot of, that's probably, Tim, that's probably what you were having a hard time with and struggling. There wasn't anyone readily available to answer specific questions on that. But I did talk to a lady there on Friday, and she helped clear things up for me. And I don't think it's something that can apply to our wants and needs for salt storage. The salt storage clause in that grant application is for preventing groundwater contamination of salt resulting from a salt storage building. So it's more like if a community has a proven, so just wanted to pass that along, that I looked into it, and I could still submit something if you like, but it doesn't seem like the H2 Ohio grant for salt distribution and a little bit for remediating problems with salt storage buildings really applies to what we're doing. Because even if we had that issue, I don't think we have documentation showing salt contamination resulting from our salt dome has been a problem, unless I'm wrong.
Questions of our engineer?
Only one question I had is, we may not have documentation, and just educate me, do you know the reason why the water is not potable for Village Hall
I
and the
don't.
campus? Because is it potentially from salt storage? I'm just curious. I've never known the source. I just know that the water's not potable.
Yeah, same.
But I don't know what is it E. coli? Is it salt? What is the problem with our water that makes it undrinkable?
So you'd have to get a well guy, wouldn't you?
Or somebody just to
Yeah,
test it.
why did we, it was long before I was here, we were, we had the water coolers to drink out of.
And I don't think you use salt until, what?
We used a mixture of.
Yeah, it's mostly cinder.
2000, it was a mix, it was 3-to-1 or 2-to-1
Yeah.
cinder to salt, so it was very little salt.
So why is the water undrinkable here?
We don't
Do we
know.
know?
That's a very good question, and I don't have an answer for you off the top of my head.
How about public utilities?
Another public utility.
Right Flyer, Connecticut.
And the thing about it is, you could ask the county. The county will test sources of water wells.
Yeah.
So there may be a freebie if we just reach out to the county and say, would you identify the source of contamination?
Why is our water not
Our
potable
water.
here? Yeah,
Correct.
that's a great question.
So it's not potable Village Hall, Police Department, streets.
Yeah, the entire campus.
Does
Yeah.
it stink?
Well, same well for this building and the service garage is the same well. We get our water from here.
It's the municipal campus water supply.
How deep's the well? Do we know?
How deep's the well?
I have no idea.
Why don't we,
Need a well guy.
let's start Wednesday, Dennis, township dinner. Let's, ask around. I know Troy Township will be there, they've had big issue.
And
All you gotta do is call the county, and they'll test the source, and they'll identify what the source of the contamination
Yeah,
is.
they probably even have well records for us as far as, the physical dimensions of our well. It's 8-inch casing at 65 feet deep or whatever.
Mayor and Mark, you guys are the longest serving. It's probably been on undrinkable since you guys.
1995.
Join.
Was it bad then too, back in the day?
Yeah, we had those.
Yeah.
We've got a new well dug since I've been here, but it's still undrinkable.
Right.
And it's gross, I mean, you get chunks coming out.
The Holtz property,
That is a well, we did not get tested.
well, Public Utilities will investigate testing both.
We have two now,
Because
and that is the third.
so I presume when the dentist was doing his thing, he was using water and it would not have
He
been
would have had to.
contaminated, and we looked at it. He didn't have any kind of like filtration system that I recall in the building itself. So presumably his well was okay for that purpose.
Or was it?
Or yes, or yes.
I mean, the way Chris is looking, did you go to Holtz for this dentist?
No.
Oh, that asked, okay. All right.
Okay, none of the buildings, the buildings have water systems in them. We don't have water softeners, we don't have treatment systems, so they could have been treated.
Right, if you treat it, it might be okay.
Public Utilities will look into.
You got it. Any other questions of our engineer? Eric, I have one.
Sure.
The Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District, she just got an award. And part of the publicity about it, she commented about the quality of water that comes out of the city of Cleveland. She said it's better than any well water. Is that just bragging?
Yes.
I don't know how you could definitively quantify that. City of Cleveland gets their water from Lake Erie, just like every other municipality that draws water from the lake, and it's a good source. It's better than, other parts of the country for sure. But as far as it is better than everything else, I think it's a pretty far-reaching statement.
Definitely undergoes more treatment than any other well. So that's.
Okay, street commissioner, on that note, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor. I submitted my monthly report for December 23. And additionally, I did obtain a restroom quote for the parks. I submitted that to the Properties Committee. And the Fairview Road Stormwater project that we were working on for the end of last year, the engineer and I independently came up with a price for installation. The quote came in considerably higher, so we put a stop to the project and we're gonna bid it out this spring. And I'll move forward with that. And also, the park drainage seems to be working very well. There's no puddles, there's no standing water. And we'll find out tomorrow. It's supposed to be heavy rain tomorrow. We'll see how that works. That's all I have.
Questions of our street commissioner?
Really fast, Tim, since the engineer pointed out the grant H2 Ohio wouldn't work for the salt dome. It does mention here two things like live edge blades, salt spreader control systems, brine mixers. Do we have any need for any of those?
We have one, the next truck that we're gonna replace is the only one left that's a manual control. The other three are all automatic.
Okay.
What is a live edge blade?
It's, I believe it's naming the way it trips.
Okay. I knew it didn't apply to our salt dome, and I didn't ask, but I was really curious about that.
Ours trip anyway, we have.
Okay.
Can you comment on the 500 Mannerbrook job?
I still don't, I have questions about that whole, what are they asking for with the easement? Are we to just maintain it and keep it clean, or is it the continuous maintenance of it, or I'm not sure what we're looking for. Because I would like to remove the grate that's on, or ask engineer to take a look at it.
We talked about that. We can take a look at it this Friday after our streets committee meeting.
There's a grate over
But I think you probably could.
there's a 24 or 30-inch pipe that we could remove the grate from, and which would allow the debris to flow through, because it only goes under Mannerbrook Drive to the south, and then it opens up again. So I don't see it where we would block up anything, that would continue the flow, when we wouldn't have a problem at 500 Mannerbrook then. Because now what happens is a grate there, you get leaves down in there, a couple sticks, and then it backs up and plugs, overflows, goes over the lawn, over the road, and then it's a big mess.
Wouldn't that happen even if the grate was removed?
No, if we
Small
remove the grate, it would flow
debris
through.
wouldn't be trapped.
Right.
It would be able to flow through the pipe.
Because it's all leaves and small sticks. There's nothing big that comes out of it, because we have, upstream, we have rock channel protection that catches all of that big stuff.
So we should discuss this on Friday?
Can't you adjust the size of the grate holes?
They're pretty big now, they're probably
We'll
6 by 12.
take a look at that. I was thinking the same thing. Maybe we could modify the grate.
Portable cutting torch.
right? Side grinder.
Borrow the one from the lake people.
There you go.
Anything else for street commissioner? All right, street committee.
Street committee, all right. It's that time of year where we talk trash day. We're looking at April 27th with senior pickup on the 24th and 25th. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to hold trash day on Saturday, April 27th, 2024, with senior trash pickup on April 24th and April 25th, 2024.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
All right.
Street committee, you're still up.
With that, I have nothing else to add.
Could we do a shredding day date, come up with a shredding day for this fall?
Frankly, I put one in the calendar, a proposed calendar. I can give that to you.
You're talking about twice a year or just once?
It's once right now, September, October.
I love trash day.
You do have it.
This is shredding day.
I know, but I'm back on
Almost as
trash
good.
day.
And our current shredding company that we use, their price went up $300.
You've got the shredding day right now,
Yes,
tentatively scheduled for 19 October.
Thanks, Dennis. October 19th, Tim?
Okay?
For sure.
October 19th, shredding?
We'll see if we can get it.
Chris, you want a motion for that right now?
Roll call.
Vendor.
That's Saturday.
Is this something we could put in the newsletter, Danielle?
Well, once we get the dates confirmed.
October 19th.
Well,
To advertise it, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Reminder.
Confirm this is a Saturday. Please hold. Yes, it is. Okay.
That's October 19th, Mayor?
Yeah.
October 19th for the shredding day.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to hold shredding day on Saturday, October 19, 2024.
Do we have hours of operation in mind?
9 to noon?
Operations
Same
9
old, same
a.m.
old.
to 12 p.m.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Chris, you want to do the yard sale on April the 20th, the week before?
And what doesn't sell goes to trash.
April 20th, hold on, write that down.
And no rain this year. We had a downpour last year.
I'm not having anything on my agenda, I'm getting a lot done today.
You don't handle those three committees with Berger.
I'd like to make a motion to have the 2024 South Russell Community Yard Sale on Saturday, April the 20th,
8 to 2,
8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Second.
discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, yard sale passes.
Thank you.
All right, anything else you didn't plan on, Chris?
No, anything you got for yourself?
All right, street committee, any other questions on the street committee? Building committee,
All right, building committee. I went back to the minutes real fast since I didn't know I'd be doing this tonight. One thing I stole from Brady's report, sorry Brady, I needed content.
Absolutely.
We talked about the Knox boxes at our last meeting during the building report. It turns out the requirement for Knox boxes is already in our fire code. So we do not need to change anything on the building side. That's correct. The ask of the fire department is that we enforce it. We have not been enforcing it, so the fire inspector will be doing so.
fire prevention officer.
Fire prevention officer.
Yeah, he's connected with Chagrin Falls for that.
Is this something you break, Mike, or
No,
is it?
it's a
has-
key.
It's a key,
It's a key.
Lockbox.
It's just-
Here, a combination.
and bad guys can't get into it.
Only the fire department is the key, not
Okay.
even us.
Secondly, last meeting when we did the DAG inspections thing, we made a note at some point that we needed to move in 2024, we needed to move.
do that yet.
We can't do that yet?
Next meeting.
Our next meeting.
Oh.
There'll be a new chairman too, I think.
I'll put it on the agenda.
Maybe, I don't know yet. So yes, next meeting we'll do that, we could move the funds from salaries and benefits over to other.
Thank you.
Other than that, Jerry,
Building will meet.
building will meet, that's right, we're now scheduled to meet this coming Thursday at 8 a.m. in the building.
Questions of the building committee? Chief, you're up.
Thank you. I submitted a year-end report to Mayor and Council. And the only thing I would like to request for safety, this could be now or at the next meeting, that we allow us to begin a search for part-time officers again. And that's all I have.
Okay. Safety Committee?
Thank you. Mayor, Safety will meet this Wednesday at 9 a.m. at the station. And Chief, I want to commend you and your lieutenant, our lieutenant, for your comprehensive, very comprehensive report. And if I'm reading this correctly, except for May, activities went down quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah. There was also a significant drop in November here, as you can see, one of our lowest months ever. However, the only bad thing that I would note is our traffic crashes are up 25%. So it's a lot of people just on the phones, distracted and just rear-ending each other.
Now, the accident, the truck accident on New Year's Day, was it?
I believe so.
That's in Russell Township.
Correct.
Have we heard about the driver? How's the driver?
No, I heard minor injuries, but I know nothing other than the injuries were non-life-threatening, very minor, very fortunate guy to crawl out of that alive.
Okay.
Look, it didn't spill everywhere with a punctured tank or something.
Yeah, surprisingly, that tanker truck held up amazing. And the big issue was the diesel fuel that was spilled out of the saddle tanks. So, very fortunate.
And he hit a telephone pole too. Two?
Two of them.
So was there ice or we don't know what the problem
I
was?
don't know the answer. I know that the traffic crash reconstructionists are probably still working on it.
Was he applying his engine brake?
It's a good question.
It was Coonley, right?
We may not have heard it.
Dennis, any of that?
Nothing to add.
That's all, Mayor.
Questions of the Safety Committee? Chief, Service Department call out, is that for snow?
No, that could be for anything. That's snow, that could be, storm damage, anything. So yeah, there was a drop in those calls as well.
All right, thank you. We are now at the HR Committee.
HR, we have not met since our last council meeting. Danielle, I'm looking at your part of your report. We're done with the HR everything, aren't we? The document, because we're not in the green.
I think so. I haven't looked at, we're
Employee
doing,
handbook or-
Yeah, employee handbook.
for this year, it's gonna be the evaluations and the job descriptions.
Okay, and since we don't know exactly which way we're going, we're gonna wait and see about Tuesday, January 16th. Will Berger and I meet, or whoever is my next victim to be on HR with me, in fact, if I will be on HR, so that's HR. Properties, Mayor?
Yes, keep rolling, thank you.
Well, the street commissioner mentioned that the bathroom went up in price, but he's letting me do the bad news that instead of $88,000, they now want $111,000. Was it 111 or 110?
111.7.
111. So they want $23,000 more, which is roughly a 25% increase for our 2 bathrooms.
That does not reflect the 2024 increase, which will be in about a month or
And
so.
they're due to go up again. So that leaves the question, where do we get this money from? Finance and absent finance.
We can't do anything tonight, so, because I don't have last year's, budget closed, so I think the finance committee, we were supposed to meet the day of the next council meeting too, that morning, so we'll have to look at.
It's a whopper increase. But we gambled
Are there other vendors?
and we lost.
No.
That's pretty much it.
Oh, that's the.
20, yeah, 9 o'clock on the 22nd.
And our next property committee will be Jerry and I at 1 PM this Wednesday, January 10th. So that, basically, that's my Parks Committee report too. Or do we keep having little not aesthetically pleasing outhouse things there? Jerry? That's it, Mayor.
Questions to the Property Committee, anything else? Park Committee, did you have any meetings?
That was Park.
Okay, we are Public Utilities.
Public Utilities will meet as noted on January 19th, 9 a.m. And we should have a proposal from another potential vendor for solar panels. And we'll also undertake the village campus water situation. And Bridie, we're also going to talk about easements and ponds as usual. And we'll see what progress we're going to be able to make in 2024 on that topic. That's all I have, Mayor.
Questions of the Public Utilities Committee?
We have two motions we need.
Yeah.
You want to do those now? Okay.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve change order 2 supplemental, Mr. Excavator, in the amount of $23,521 for the Manor Brook Stream Restoration Project. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Jerry, are you abstaining on that one?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was working on something else. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I vote aye for that.
Okay, so it's four ayes, no nays, one.
I think maybe
Abstain.
you should recuse yourself, Jerry,
What?
still
You should
the
abstain.
Manor Stream Restoration
Oh,
Project.
it's the Manor Brook?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I can't
We
vote
got
for
you.
that.
Okay, so let's do a roll call. So Val,
You got it.
Canton,
I,
Lipstein, Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Kalicki,
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes 4-0.
I'd like to make a motion to approve construction progress payment application number 4 supplemental to Mr. Excavator in the amount of $35,676.39 for the Manor Brook Stream Restoration Project. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say
We'll do a
aye.
roll call.
Roll call.
Val,
Aye.
Canton,
abstain.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Kalicki,
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Motion passes. Questions of the Public Utilities Committee? We are at ordinances and resolution. This is, I guess, Jerry, will let you do this one. It's selling some of the traffic light the chief's been working on
The very
this.
first one?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Introduce and consider for adoption a resolution expressing the intent to sell personal property not needed for the public use by internet auction through Gov Deals and/or eBay, and declaring an emergency and suspend further readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Val,
Aye.
Canton,
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Kalicki,
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Val,
Aye.
Canton,
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Kalicki,
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Next one will be Public Utilities.
I'd like to introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance approving the amendment to the term of the contract between the Village of South Russell and Chagrin River Watershed Partners, Inc. for technical assistance between the Village of South Russell and Chagrin River Watershed Partners, read that again, of the Village Hall and Park Wetland Remediation, authorizing the mayor to execute the contract agreement on behalf of the village, declaring emergency, move to waive further readings.
Second.
Moved and seconded, roll call.
Val,
Aye.
Canton,
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Kalicki,
Aye.
Porter.
Aye, move to adopt.
Second.
Val,
Aye.
Canton,
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Kalicki,
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance passes. Back to safety.
Thank you, Mayor. Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance awarding the bid of Flock Group Incorporated for the professional services of 12 existing automated license plate reader cameras for law enforcement purposes. Approving the 5-year agreement between the Village of South Russell and Flock Group Incorporated in a total amount of $150,000, authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to execute the 5-year agreement and declare an emergency and suspend further readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Val,
Aye.
Canton,
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Kalicki,
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Val,
Aye.
Canton,
Aye.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Kalicki,
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Ordinance passes.
Is that 30 grand a year?
Correct.
Wow.
But it's a.
Okay, next one, Chris, you're back. This is through the building department. Gallagher and Associates.
What's the number we're putting in this blank?
There is,
We need a number.
There's never been a number. Should we say $1 or leave it 0?
Not to exceed or over.
Well, okay, so the thing is last time we were talking about doing a dollar amount limit. So I talked to Ruth in the building department. So they collect deposits on construction projects, and then we take those fees out of there. They're usually a couple $100s. So, but we thought I'm not sure what you're looking for. I'm thinking the reason you said you want it not to exceed. So if we usually pay 200, if they're gonna go over 500, would he let us know that before he continues so that we make sure we collect enough from the resident to pay for that? So that the village isn't having to cover the
But
cost.
this is the pass-through, right?
It should be, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we have a certain amount we collect on the permit, and then we take Gallagher's fees taken out of that when the deposit is returned. So that's gonna vary, depends on the size of the project.
But
Still works for-
Gallagher will not be charging the village.
He charges the village, we pay it, but we take it out of their money.
So Bridie, what would wording be that you could have not to exceed?
Yeah, I thought we would have a certain amount because it's a contract, just like we did with DAG inspection and solution services, and same with,
So you're saying amount for the whole year or per
Yes.
play?
but I understand this is a pass-through cost, so maybe the not to exceed is maybe not the right language, but it's something. And then the other issue is, as I understand it, Mr. Gallagher still works with CT.
I think he's retiring or retired.
Okay. I think we were under the impression that he was still employed, and I think the issue is, does he have an employment contract with CT, and is there any
Yeah, there's a
Concern.
conflict there.
the conflict actually would really truly be with Mr. Gallagher, actually not necessarily with the village. The village can enter into this contract with this separate entity that he has, that's not the issue. The issue is more along the lines, does CT have any rules in its employee handbook whereby a current employee cannot, quite frankly, have a side gig, right? With
All
the
right,
client.
I will ask about that tomorrow.
That's
Should we wait for next council meeting?
I think that's a good idea.
He's anxious to get this going, but we could wait, an amount, so what do you wanna plug in? Would we
Well, that's
say,
the question.
We don't know more
So
information.
what we could do is give it the first reading.
yeah, let's get this rolling if we could.
We could do that and then say,
Pending a dollar amount.
well, I mean, the idea here is you wanted the amount to be equal to or greater than the amount that flows
The
through.
average.
But it doesn't usually exceed $500 per time.
That I don't know.
Well, sure, but we'd be looking for like a monthly amount,
Right, or annual.
Or
you know,
annual.
or annual.
Right, annual average.
But,
Yeah.
you know,
So how is
any
it?
notion on what that might be, Danielle?
I'll look it up tomorrow, I don't know it now. I have to go through CT's bills and look.
We should probably wait on the reading then.
We need to fill in some blanks there.
Okay,
Yeah. So next council meeting. Yep. Okay.
all right, we are now at
There was one more, the CT one that,
Eric's contract, yes, thank you, Friday, for the quick service.
I'll do that. I'd like to introduce an ordinance authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to enter into an agreement with CT Consultants, Inc. to act as the village's engineer for the time period January 1st, 2024, retroactively through December 31st, 2025, declaring an emergency, move to waive further reading.
Second.
Roll call.
Bell. Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Gleeke.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye, move to adopt.
Second.
Bell.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Gleeke.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Thank you, council.
Ordinance passes. Glad you're aboard. We are now at the bills list,
I have a question concerning the bills list.
okay?
Is there anything dealing with the Madbrook project with the bills list?
Did you read your bills, Jerry?
I don't recall, but I wasn't looking for it.
Yes, on the 28th of December there is, and
So I was-
on both of them are, so you can abstain.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to ratify the bills list of 12/14/2023 in the amount of $125,740.95 and 12/28/2023 in the amount of $28,116.01. So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Bell.
Aye.
Canton.
Hughes.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Gleeke.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Motion passes. We are now at new other. a motion to set a deadline for submitting council packets.
That was something we discussed at the last
We
meeting,
did,
and
yeah.
Berger wanted it added to the agenda.
Burger.
But
Hey,
it would
that's up to
be,
you,
just
that's-
to clarify, it would, it's not for this Wednesday, it'd be for the next one?
So the Wednesday before the council meeting.
Yeah.
So the, next council meeting is on January 22nd, so the deadline would be January 17th.
Okay.
So,
If there was a true emergency,
yeah,
got it, but it seems like everybody was getting us stuff on Monday morning.
so like the finance committee is gonna meet on January 22nd,
Mhm.
the day of the council meeting.
But
But that wasn't gonna be their regular schedule, just because of when, Councilman Berger gets back from.
So if they do or they don't, there's really no consequence, right? We're just hoping we show courtesy to each other.
Stink eye.
Well, for years, we've been meeting, the committees I've been on, meeting
First week,
no, it would be the second Thursday of the month, right?
No, we always building was always the first Thursday,
and
streets.
so was property.
Yeah, everything was,
So we're moving it now.
yeah, we're getting it between the two council meetings. It gives
Right,
them
Exactly,
more.
that's right.
Well, the
Okay,
point is, if you want stuff in the council packet, you have to get it to Danielle or Leslie
By Wednesday.
Wednesday before 9 AM, right? And
okay,
if
so
you don't, then it goes into the next one.
somebody start the motion.
Where are we? Move to set the deadline for submitting council packet items to 9 AM on the Wednesday prior to the council meeting. So moved.
Second.
Moved and second. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Oh, the committee schedules we have, that will have to be put off.
Okay. Do the executive session.
Yes.
And
Executive session.
Well, you didn't know weather yet, right,
Okay.
Danielle?
Yep, no other, Bell?
Really fast, I mean, I could ask this during the solicitor's report, and I think I know the answer, but I'm gonna ask you because some residents have asked. After the tanker spill last week down in Russell, I guess it was close to home for some, and they're wondering if hazardous materials could be restricted on Chillicothe Road in South Russell. I would guess no, because it's a state route, but I wanted to ask that question anyway.
That's correct. It's a state route, so we have to go through the state. We can't regulate it.
So can we assume that they were traveling south of 306 to get on the highway?
Doesn't matter.
no, they were going the other way, going north.
South.
They were heading south?
It's on the south, on the
On
other
306.
side of the road, so I'm presuming they were going south.
They gotta pick up 422?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, anything else?
Thank you.
Canton, new other?
No.
Kavanaugh?
Yes, I will be absent February 12th, and I think I need a dispensation to do so.
I move that Councilwoman Kavanaugh be excused from the February 12th council meeting.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Excused. Thank you.
Galicki?
No.
Porter?
None.
All right,
Okay,
Councilman Kent.
thank you. To confer with legal counsel regarding pending or imminent litigation involving the village pursuant to 121.22, section G, paragraph 3 of the Ohio Revised Code, and to invite into executive session the mayor, the solicitor, the financial officer, and the police chief.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Bell?
Aye.
Canton?
Aye.
Kavanaugh?
Aye.
Galicki?
Aye.
Porter?
We'll go into executive session in 2 minutes, 8:16.
So we are, I just sent you.